एनएसई द्वारा निवेशकों के हित में जारी।
Hello and welcome to Hot Commodities. I'm Anisha Gupta and the top headlines on the show are: straight up, the Indian rupee gains for a second straight session, holds on to near 2-month highs. The dollar weakness against the Asian currencies supports the rupee. And the gold prices trade flat but continue to hold above $1,250 per ounce. It's a 4-month high is continuing for the gold. And the crude oil prices also have seen a bit of a rebound coming in, with the Brent now just about touching $50 per barrel as we look towards weekend. Let's start with the currency first of all. It has been a positive start in 2015 for the rupee. We have seen a second straight day of gain coming in for the currency. On your screen, it has been a 0.3% of a gain for the Indian currency versus the dollar. Well, the dollar weakness versus Asian currencies has been supportive, and that's the reason you have seen rupee shut shop at 61.87. The gold prices in the meanwhile are trading flat after those immense gains that we saw in the trading session yesterday. It's just about holding $1,250 per ounce right now. Remember, we have seen levels of $1,265 yesterday as well. This is the best week in 10 months coming in for the gold prices as investors seek safety after Switzerland National Bank unexpectedly scrapped a cap on the franc versus the euro. The crude oil prices then have seen a good day as well. We have seen prices edge higher on your screens. It's 3.5% of a gain coming in for the Brent prices and ditto for the NYMEX. The analysts remain though cautious as global output continues to weigh on the demand. Jim Rogers, author Street Smarts, Adventures on the Road and the Markets, also talks about commodities with us today. Jim, hi, good to see you. What's your sense really coming in for the crude oil prices? Because now the producers, OPEC itself, is talking about $40, even $30 on the lower side.
Well, of course it could happen, Manisha. That's what happened last time in 2008 when you had forced selling, panic, artificial selling. People don't care what the price is. They just have to sell. Now, that could happen again. But I have noticed here in the last 2 or 3 weeks that this panic selling has been like I have never seen in many markets. So I would suspect, if nothing else, we're ready for a rally. After that rally, it may happen again. It did go into the low 30s in 2008. Manisha, when there's forced selling and when something is artificial, anything can happen. You pick a number. Your number's as good as anybody else's.
Jim, let's talk about the base metal space then. And this week really has been volatile. The copper prices are down 8 to 9% in this year already. While we did see a crack coming in and there have been concerns of weak data from Japan, Eurozone and China, do you see these concerns continue?
There comes a time when selling begets selling. People have to sell. They get margin calls. They're in debt. They have problems, and so you see a downward spiral. Now that's shifting over into metals, as you well know. Therefore, it's starting to beget selling there, too. I would suspect that crude oil is getting close to some kind of bottom, but copper can go down a significantly amount more.
And Jim, it's not just about the non-agro space, because if you look at the agriculture commodities, corn, soybean, wheat, everything is looking at a supply glut in the global markets. So do you see an overall commodity condition now turning bearish for this year?
Well, yes, we're looking at a record harvest if everything goes right. Manisha, this is January. Who knows what's going to happen this year? And when everybody's expecting record harvest, rarely in history have they come through. I have no idea what could go wrong, but something always goes wrong when everybody's bullish.
Jim, there are a lot of contrarian buy calls coming in for gold and silver for 2015, and the performance till time in whatever we've seen in Jan has been quite positive. We are looking at 4-month highs for gold. Do you see this outperformance continue? Are you buying gold and silver?
There's no such word as safe when you're talking about the investment world, first of all. Second, I own gold and silver. I'm not buying it yet. I do see all of those forecasts for 30% up this year. I'm waiting. If it goes up 30%, I'll make money because I own both. But I'm not buying yet.
Jim, we have seen equity markets gain up a bit, at least in the Asian markets. India has done quite well for itself. Between commodities and equities, where are we headed in for these asset classes relatively?
Well, I own Asian markets, Manisha. I don't see them going up. It's China, Japan. These markets are going down. But yes, you're right that stock markets have been stronger than commodity markets so far this year, but that's because of oil. I mean, oil has collapsed. We've had an unprecedented collapse in oil because Saudi Arabia dumped for its political reasons, which we discussed before. I would suspect that that's going to continue. It's spilling over into base metals now, but that means that economies are not as strong as the markets have been, and that usually leads to problems in equity markets. I suspect it will this time too, Manisha.
Fair point, Jim. Just before we let you go, what's your best bet now coming in for 2015? What are you picking up on?
There's no such word as safe in the investment world, at least in my vocabulary. So no, I don't know of anything safe. I hope to buy some more agriculture somewhere along here. Agriculture has been stronger, relatively stronger than other commodities and other markets this year. I hope to buy some agriculture commodities before too much longer.
Fair point, Jim. We'll let you go at that. Always a pleasure talking to you. So those are the best bets coming in from Jim Rogers. Agriculture commodities and junk bonds is what he's looking at for in 2015.